I love New York City at Christmas and obviously love London too at the most wonderful time of the year. Both cities have really similar things to do during the holidays. You can look at beautifully decorated store windows like the ones at Macy's in New York or the ones at Selfridges in London. You can see a ginormous Christmas tree covered in decorations at Rockefeller Center or Trafalgar Square, and check out Christmas lights covering the streets in both cities. But there are things to do in London for Christmas that you just can't do in New York City. Every single one of these is a separate feature that's detailed on my blog. All the links are in the description below, as well as a link for where you can get a discount code on the fun shirts that I wear in my videos. Charles Dickens is probably the single most responsible person for making the holiday the commercial extravaganza as we know it today. The Charles Dickens Museum is in Bloomsbury, and the museum is literally in a house in which he lived. If you love Victorian literature or him, the Charles Dickens Museum is well worth an hour or two of your time during the Christmas holidays. The tree at Trafalgar Square isn't nearly as big as Rockefeller Center. What makes this tree different is the views around it. You don't have to go out on a limb to easily see Big Ben, Parliament, Buckingham Palace, and the National Gallery. I'm not sure if these bulb decorations here are still near the Condé Nast building in New York City, but you used to be able to stand under the bulbs in Covent Garden. However, last year they changed out the bulbs and put in mistletoe, so if you're looking for a really cool Christmas selfie, I would suggest standing under the mistletoe in Covent Garden. If you read my blog often, you know that my husband, Mr. Sunny, was born in London and is very passionate about pubs and drinking beer. I don't drink beer, but I do love wine and champagne. During the holidays, pubs offer festive ales or ciders, or I don't even know what they're called, but they are festive things to drink for beer drinkers. On the other hand, they offer wine drinkers what's called mulled wine. But in the years I've lived here, I've never drank it. In fact, I try to run the other direction when I get a powerful whiff of its spicy scent. British people are very passionate about enjoying mulled wine during the holidays. Something else you can't do in New York City is see a castle beautifully decorated for Christmas. When you survey Londoners, they will suggest that the Queen's weekend home, Windsor Castle, is the best one to see at Christmas. An activity I don't think you'll find in New York City that's popular in London throughout the year but really hits its peak during Christmas is afternoon tea. 2 years ago, I went to 3 afternoon teas in 1 week in December. If you're coming to London for Christmas and you think you're gonna go to an afternoon tea, I suggest you watch my afternoon tea etiquette video before you go to one. At Christmas, executive pastry chefs and hotels go all out when it comes to the holiday spirit and a themed tea. My annual favorite is at the Conrad St. James Hotel. For example, last year what they did was kind of like a Frozen movie spin-off. It was the Snow Queen afternoon tea, and it was amazing. For food, fun, and roller skating, you want to go to the South Bank Centre in London. I love this Christmas market because not only can you do those fun things, but also you're within view of one of London's most iconic attractions. Now that attraction is the London Eye, which is so majestic at Christmas. It's also where you can go ice skating. Now, if you've been to Rockefeller Center and ice skated around the Christmas tree, it's definitely beautiful. It's also amazing skating around Central Park. What's different in London is the amount of places that you can go ice skating. I've published a separate video which shows you at least 5 different locations. The London Eye is just one of the many places where you can skate and look at one of London's most famous attractions or museums. My favorite annual holiday event and the most popular thing to do in London at Christmas is Winter Wonderland. As a girl who grew up in Florida and worked at Universal Studios, naturally, I love amusement parks. It does get very crowded on Friday nights and weekends. The rides are amazing and the food is festive and fun. Mr. Sunny would give the beer 2 thumbs up but he does need both hands to hold his stein every year when we go to the Bavarian Village. I've seen the Rockettes perform their Christmas Spectacular show at Radio City Music Hall in New York City. There is nothing like that in London. I'd love to know from you in the comments other things that you feel happen in New York City for Christmas that you won't find in London. Hit like or share this video if you found it valuable. I'd also love to know what else you'd like to learn about London, so you can ask me those questions either in the comments below or anywhere on social media. For specific details about everything I mentioned, links are below in the description, as well as a promo code for where I get my shirts. As always, thank you for watching.